Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Cloud 2. Last time, we made our way to the Venancio coast, met a sea dragon named Shingala, and chased them into Ocean Roar Cave. This time, we're going to be continuing on. Between episodes, I did in fact... let's see here. Got Max's weapon up to a smash level 4. Not quite to where I want it to be yet to be done, but that's enough for now. We've got a couple more floors coming up with some more experienced monsters, so we'll get to it then. But as for what we're doing now, I'm not taking anyone with me into the dungeon this time. Mostly because Cedric needs to recover because I used him to repair all my weapons and I want him to get his points back. But also while I was out, I stocked up on everything. As you can see, we're a bit lower now on money than we normally are. This is about the amount of money you'd have on a casual playthrough if you don't just spend it all. And you don't spend way too long grinding in Chapter 3. So we're back down to a normal amount of money, but with a lot more items, as you can see. I restocked our healing items, our recovery items, bought some bombs. You can't buy the stones, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, but we've stolen and had enough drop from Chapter 3 dragons that we have quite a few of them. I didn't max out the fruits, because you can hold up to 50 of the fruits. All except for the bananas, because they're counted as healing items. You can start up to 50 all the fruits, I just bought 20 of each. If you wanted to go up to 50, we would have no money right now, and I still wouldn't have a max of all of them. I did, however, buy 50 of the bomb nuts, because they're fun to use and throw around. I did also make the bucket pack for the ride pod. We don't have quite enough room in his core to equip it to him yet, but it is there for when we do. That's about all I really did. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the aquarium, actually. I'm glad I have you. I forgot I did. We'll get to you in a little bit. I'm gonna have to leave what I want to do with him with a little bit of surprise. I also went through and sold most of the weapons that I don't plan on using at all. I did keep some of the level 1 weapons for upgrading different paths. Because right now the only real gun we have now is the Dark Viper. And we have 3 gun types that we need all together. So eventually we'll be getting Max's guns going. I kept all the swords we were upgrading. This one is a very particular sword, the Bone Rapier. After 2 upgrades, I think it is, it has a couple abilities on it that I really wouldn't mind putting on another weapon. But we'll get to that so much later on. I'll probably be like mid-chapter 5 before we start worrying about that. But we do still have the Chora, the Serpent Slicer, which was a gift, so we're going to go ahead and keep that for now. And then the Base Lord, which I do have a plan for. We kept a couple of guns, because Max has 2 more different types of guns we can get out of them. I think that's about it. Yeah, didn't really buy anything other than that. Restocked our repair powders, of course. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move ourselves on to the next floor of Ocean Roar Cave. Oh, I would like to point out that all these shops, since I went around and revisited every shop in the game between episodes, the shops do progress for different chapters, so if there's a weapon you want, or you didn't quite grind enough to get a weapon up to where you wanted to, you could buy the base level 0 version of most tier 3 weapons at this point, a couple tier 4s. Oh, this is a blue seal. Is this Monica only or Max only? I forget. The blue seal cast out the blue at Lemuria, so this is a Max only floor. I guess we are going to go ahead and grab Cedric again. He might actually be recovered by now, because they recover with in-game time, not how long you're in dungeons. And I put him back to the train before I did all my shopping, so he might actually be fine now. I didn't remember that floor 3 was a Max only floor, else I would have just left him in the party. Come on, Cedric. Yeah, he's all set and ready to go again now, which is nice. So let's go ahead and move on to Ocean Roar Cave and continue on. Wow, that took almost 5 minutes to say all that. Did not feel like that long a time, in all honesty. I gotta do a little bit of readjusting to my layout, I think. Yeah, because you're overstretching. Also, I think something about editing how I guess I messed this up right here. So I guess it shifted at some point, and she didn't have quite enough room to type out her stuff anymore. But adjust that real quick. Probably should do that between episodes too, but I just noticed it when I went to adjust the other thing. I don't know why. Sometimes when you close OBS and reopen it, stuff switches around. This is a max-only floor, which is good. There's a new enemy here, which you saw from the name, which I forget what the exact name was, but there was tank in the name. So we're going to be running into something here. I said in Chapter 3 that Balance Valley is probably my favorite dungeon, just because I like the waterfall aesthetic, and it's really pretty to look up all the stars at night. Ocean Roar Cave is probably my second favorite. I really like water areas in a lot of games. We also have a captain here. They attack almost the exact same as the Corsairs do. Jump, slash. I think they technically have a third attack if he wants to show us. I guess not. I'm pretty sure he does have a third attack. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head and he didn't want to do it, so... what was I saying? I forgot already. Oh, yeah. I like water areas in a lot of games. Besaid is my favorite area in Final Fantasy X. The Fawn Coast, I think is what it's called, in Final Fantasy XII. Right before Arcadia, I think it's called the Fawn Coast. God damn it, my favorite Final Fantasy game, I can't remember the name of an area. I'm sure you guys know the one I mean, though. Right before you get to Arcadia, that little area. It's one of my favorite areas in 12. I just like water. Which is one of the main things that draw me to Balance Valley. I just like the valley aspect of it more with the waterfalls running down and stuff like that. That being said, though, the Ocean Roar Cave is my least favorite area to place Sphida in. Seeing as we won't be getting to it for a while, considering that it apparently doesn't have it on the floors that share two areas, the beach and then the cave, which I completely forgot about. Like I tried saying before, I thought Sphida was in every single floor of the game. But I guess not. Because as you can see, there's quite a bit of water on the floor, and that does affect your Sphida puck. Which, oddly enough, I wish this mechanic applied in more areas when I really overcharge a shot. But here it's really annoying, because pretty much as soon as the ball hits the water, it stops. It might bounce once, maybe twice if you're lucky, but for the most part it just stops. So... Also, I believe our Stinger Wrench was the first weapon to get to 100 weapon points. Or weapon durability points, or whatever the technical name is for them. Which is kind of neat. Oh, we have a beach rat here. Works the exact same as the sewer rats. Only it carries a shovel, and where's a Speedo? Only difference. Also, we tried something last episode at the end, if Thorn edited it properly, where I showed all the new monsters at the end of the episode. I'm recording this maybe 2-3 hours after, almost 2 hours exactly after last episode, so it hasn't actually been edited yet. So, assuming it was edited properly, I'm looking at you. You would have seen all the monster notes at the end of the episode. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work with trying to do the credits and stuff yet, but I did figure that we'd change it up a little bit. So normally, you know, we put the picture up and then the credits roll, then we put the end stuff at the end of it when we upload it. So I thought instead of a picture, we just have the game footage scrolling through the monster notes, and then just have the credits along the side. But that leaves a little less room than we actually have for the credits. Doing it the picture, because we enlarge the picture, move to the side, roll the credits down on the other side. And the game takes up a bit more room than... Oh, there's our tank. We'll talk about that in a second. Max die, because it's a max only floor, so it's a game over if we lose, and I'm going to do the last time I saved. And the tank has 2 attacks. He has that one right there. Those explode on contact if they hit, or they have a set period of time before they explode. It also has a piercing shot right there with its basic shot. Get behind it. It can't do anything. Using max will probably have it dead before you even get too far with it. That's the tank. But yeah, as I was saying, because if we did it that way, the only room we'd have is currently where the camera is, and then the picture's down here. That's all we'd have for the credits, so the credits would have to be smaller. So we'll see how it looks in the last episode, and probably this in the next episode, because that's what I plan on recording today. So I'll have it set up that way, edit them, see how it looks, and then we'll switch it up from there if we need to. Because if I really need to, I can copy the layout and then adjust it specifically for the end credits part. Just switch it back and forth between them.
Alright, that takes care of you guys.
This is actually a really short dungeon floor. Wow. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. It is kind of nice, since I started re-uploading, which it's now 12:02, so episode 23, I believe, would have just went live. Yeah, episode 23 just went live. And every episode I've done since I've started re-uploading has gotten at least 1 viewer, which makes me so proud. There's definitely a few of the older ones that didn't get viewers till months after I quit uploading. So... Which reminds me, between episodes, I gotta make sure I post that to Discord. If you're not in Discord, go ahead and join. Oh, which reminds me, I gotta respond to someone on there. Got the notification through on my phone, but I haven't actually been back on Discord yet, so I'll do that when I post the episode. But yeah. Which, Raven, if you're watching, was supposed to be your job to do. That was like 3 years ago when we did that, so... Alright, and then next up is Water Monster. Defeat all enemies using only Monika's magic. We didn't train Monika's magic up to the point where I'd want to use it here, so we're not going to quite yet. Also, if I remember the use of the name right, I might be in for a bit of trouble in that regard anyway. Oh, apparently the fishing contest is going on. I'm not going to be doing the fishing contest every time it comes up. Mostly... because I don't really want to. There'll definitely be a few times where I go fishing and we'll save everything up and go back to it. Get down here so I can hit you. I don't know if we had a water element before. I don't think so. We've had fire, ice... Yeah, we had fire and ice in the forest. We had wind in Balance Valley. So we still have water and lightning to go. We just found the water one. So definitely have to keep that in mind for later. What level are you now? You're 4. So one more level, and then we'll go back to getting the hammer. Chill crystals, which is nice, because the main element in the hammer is chill, so we're definitely going to need more of those. Pop. I don't plan on cutting out dungeon floors too much past this point. Just the floors that we have a lot of cutscenes in are probably or episodes that we have a lot of cutscenes in are going to be the ones where I shorten the floors up, or have Thorn shorten them up. Also because these, Chapter 4's dungeon floors in particular aren't that big. They're about the size of the sewer dungeons. They're not as long as Balance Valley, and you ain't gotta worry about doing both sides to kill everything. And they're not quite as entangled as the forest. They're a bit more open, like there's a lot of open rooms here. So it doesn't take quite as long to get through them, so I don't imagine I'll cut too many of these out. Unless I'm rerunning the floor, that is. But for the most time on the first part through, I like to leave most of them in. Because in Chapter 3, we did fast forward through a lot of it. Just to get editing done a little faster, because speeding up footage isn't that hard. You just gotta set the music to match it. Which definitely let us get through editing Chapter 3 a lot faster. So hard to hit these things. I'm glad you weren't shooting at me the whole time, honestly. Just being very sloppy with my fighting. I don't usually take this much damage. Also, I'm not usually trying to use a single character to do everything either. So normally I have Monica's magic up at this point, and normally in Chapter 3, while I have Lyn, I make 2 or 3 bracelets of different elements. I didn't do that this time, mostly because I didn't feel like grinding a whole lot more. And it would have took a lot longer to finish off Chapter 3 had I done that. I wanted to make sure I was ready to start uploading by the new year. So... you can get into a good rhythm here. You can constantly repeat jump on the bats, which you probably would have seen in some of the sped up footage from last episode. You can get that rhythm going, it's pretty nice, but if you get too close as you're turning around both times, it doesn't do it anymore, which is unfortunate. Like, very tight spacing to keep jumping back and forth and hitting them. It's very funny to do, though. Look at that, 113 damage is something weak to the wrench. This is where I start getting into the good damage numbers. I love it so much. 104. So nice. Like, I think these might resist the wrench. We'll find out at the end of the episode. But they're weak to lightning, so I'm still doing decent damage on them. Then these guys are weak to wind, I believe, but resist the wrench, so I'm doing very little damage to them. Right there is, like I was saying, get into the rhythm where you just keep jumping back and forth to hit them. Definitely the easiest way to kill them, but fairly hard to pull off because the spacing is so tight. Hello, Mick. I think you're the first Mimic on the water dungeon. What is it with elemental themed areas in RPGs? Like, especially older, like PS2, PS1 era RPGs. Like, even Final Fantasy started with big elemental themes to them. They kind of traded away from that, starting at, well, roughly 6, I'd say. Because 4 and 5 definitely had elemental themed areas, because this housed the crystals. But, around 6 is when Final Fantasy stopped doing, like, an elemental theme. But even to this day, even newer RPGs sit there and go, oh, we need a fire area, we need a water area. How about wind? Earth. But after playing so many RPGs like that, it kind of gets boring, guys. Can't you come up with something? Boy. got poisoned by so many bats during the grinding. It's the main reason I bought so many healing items. Because I'm getting gooed and poisoned. Everything on the way. What are we at now? 5. Okay. Now I can start trading up the Smash Wrench again. So yeah. Also, it is very nice having more than one day off in a row. I just finished my first week on my other schedule. Working the 3 12-hour shifts, and I gotta say, being able to actually just wake up today and start doing this stuff instead of having to worry about work is very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh, you guarded. I can arc and attack too, damn it. Stay down. It's very easy to cheese enemies in this game, I've come to remember. We're starting to get to the point in the wrenches, though, or at the Smash Wrench in particular, where it's going to take a couple floor runs to finish it off. Which is slightly unfortunate, but hey. It's only 1 tier below our current weapon, so it makes sense. It actually could, if I wanted to, start fighting with it right now. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. Down, boy. Stay down. Poke. Hey. The only annoying enemy so far really is the bats. And that's only because I'm trying to melee them instead of shoot them like I should. How much is our Smash Wrench doing against these guys? We're doing 70 with our main weapon. I know this is going to do less, but I'm kind of curious. 12. Oh yeah, we're still using the other one for a minute. Ooh. Yeah, if you don't block the downward strike, can definitely still knock you around. I forgot to switch back to my other one for the experience. Oops. I think between episodes I might, between this recording session and the next one I should say, because I don't think I'm going to do it for the planned stuff I have now, but I will build up my fishing pole a bit, because the fishing contest prizes are different every time you play, or every time it comes up. There's a way to check what they are, so if you know you want to waste time on them or not. I haven't done that yet, I've just been doing them for the 2 that I did. Oh, which reminds me, I forgot to do it last episode. 1 sec, let me take care of this turtle that just ran me over. Now, your guys' instant spin is very annoying. Like, he was facing away from me, spun, and I got knocked back. Ay, ay, ay. Doesn't help I was using my Smash Wrench either.
Alright, that takes care of you guys.
I forgot to do it last episode, but I did remember to save the pictures that we missed in the picture episode because we forgot to do it during the fishing contest. Probably should just go this way. The fishing contest sign is one of them. You take a picture of the sign out front. The scale where you weigh the fish is another picture. The inside of one of the fish hanging up, you take a picture of the fish. That's one of your photos. The stand where you stand when you win is another picture. The scoreboard is what you gotta take a picture of for that one, for the electrical bulletin. The gate you walk in through when you come on in, the glowing gate, you need a picture of that. And And the lamp outside, which apparently I didn't have a picture of, which seems weird, but I took a picture of it anyway. The flag I know I had a picture of, but if you are missing it, you can get a picture of the flags outside the tent. You can also get them around any other thing that's hanging around in Palm Breaks. And then I believe the last one up top is the wrapper, which you can get a picture of that in Cedric's shop, so you shouldn't need one here, but in case you missed it. And that's all the photos for that. I believe I moved them all up here already. Yeah. So, just for your guys' sake. Alright. What are we at? About 25 minutes? Yeah, I think that's a good spot to call it for now. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. And in the next episode, we're going to continue on through the dungeon. Probably with Monica, though, because we haven't seen her yet, old dungeon. Yeah, that's good before I start using her around. Yeah, so next fall we'll be using Monica. I'll see you guys in the next episode.